Hello guys, welcome to the movie recap review. Happy watching.
Houston,
Hey, don't look at them. Look at me, okay? Breathe. Please call me Rose. You're in good hands. I know. It's so wonderful.
The movie begins with 11-year-old Eli going outside to play. But as he runs, he suddenly starts coughing and collapses. His skin turns red and begins to burn painfully, and he screams for help, but no one hears him. Then Eli wakes up. It was just a nightmare. In reality, he lives inside a sterile bubble in his home. He has a rare autoimmune disease that makes him allergic to almost everything outside. It developed a few years ago and has made life very difficult. Eli is deeply loved by his mom, Rose, who tries her best to comfort him through the plastic walls of his bubble. Everything Eli uses must be sterilized. His clothes come sealed in airtight bags, and he washes with wet wipes instead of water. If he needs to go outside, he wears a full hazmat suit, sealing every gap with tape. One day, Eli leaves home with Rose and his dad, Paul, because they found a doctor who might be able to cure him. On the way, they stop overnight at a motel. The next morning, as they're leaving, a group of bullies makes fun of Eli's suit and throws a firecracker at him. He falls and tears the suit at the knee. His skin starts burning again, and he struggles to breathe. Paul quickly tapes up the tear while Rose helps him calm down. Once Eli is safe, Paul angrily drives over the bullies' table as payback. After a long drive, they reach their destination, an old mansion that's been turned into a sterile treatment center. Eli notices a girl, Haley, watching them from a distance. At the center, the front doors are made of steel. Eli goes in alone first to be decontaminated, and then his parents follow. They meet Dr. Horn, who has used this treatment on other kids before. She says it's safe to take off his suit inside because the house is sealed, but Eli is still nervous. Eli asks if any of them were cured, but she doesn't answer directly. She only promises she'll help him get better. Horn gives them a tour and says the strange noises they hear are just old pipes. At the end of one hallway, Eli sees a girl behind a glass door, but she disappears quickly. Horn says he can't go in that area because it isn't fully clean, though the sealed door will protect him. They show Eli his new room, which has a bathroom with filtered water. Excited, Eli finally removes his suit. Nothing bad happens. He's safe. For the first time in years, Eli hugs his parents without a barrier. Later, he takes a real shower and cries with joy. That night, he tries to sleep but hears strange sounds around the house. When he goes to the window, he sees a strange bug flying outside and fog forming on the glass, like someone is breathing on it. Suddenly, a handprint appears in the fog. Scared, Eli runs to his parents' room to sleep. The next morning, Eli tells Dr. Horn about the strange things he saw. Horn says it's probably just nightmares or a side effect of the medicine. Later, Eli is taken to the operating room for the first part of his treatment. The nurses check his weight and take a photo of his face. When Eli asks why, the nurse just tells him not to ask questions. Then they strap him to the table and use a machine to hold his head still. This makes Eli nervous. Dr. Horn begins the procedure, talking about the science behind the treatment, and injects him with something strange. She makes a small cut, but Eli isn't paying attention. He's distracted by a creepy reflection in a metal chair that makes it seem like something scary is in the room. Terrified, Eli passes out. When he wakes up, he's still tied down and his skin is burning badly. He seems to be having a reaction, but the nurses just watch and do nothing. Suddenly, Eli wakes up again. It was all a nightmare. In reality, he had been taken straight to his room after the procedure. Then he hears a noise. It's Haley, throwing stones at his window. Excited to talk to someone his age, Eli runs downstairs and finds a big glass window to speak with her. They bond over magic tricks. Eli tries one, but it's a bit clumsy. Haley impresses him by lighting a small flame in her hand. She says she knows he's sick and warns him that no other kids who came to the house ever left. Eli wants her to come inside, but Haley says no. The house and Dr. Horn creep her out. After Haley leaves, Eli heads back inside and sees a mysterious girl in an abandoned room. Suddenly, the lights go out. When they come back on, the girl is standing at the end of the hallway, and she starts chasing him. Eli runs in fear. At one point, he thinks the ghost has caught him, but it's just Paul. Paul tells Eli not to wander alone. Eli mentions the girl, but Paul says no one else is in the house. That night at dinner, Eli tells his parents what happened, but they don't believe him. Later, while reading a book about magic tricks in bed, Eli hears strange noises again. He sees a shape behind the curtain. It's floating and has no feet. He checks behind it, but nothing is there. Then he fogs up the window with his breath and writes Eli with his finger. A strange force wipes off the E and adds it to the end, turning it into lie. Now really scared, Eli backs away and bumps into the mirror on his wardrobe. In the reflection, the ghost girl appears and slowly gets closer until she shows up behind the mirror. Eli tries to escape but falls, and something grabs his ankle. It turns out to be his parents trying to calm him down. Horn comes in and gives him something to help him sleep. Rose is worried, but Horn says it's just more nightmares and that the treatment has to get worse before it gets better. The next day, Eli starts phase 2 of the treatment. He's strapped down again, with even more gear on his head. The injection makes his skin rash flare up painfully. As Eli struggles, they drill a hole in his skull. The pain is too much and Eli passes out. Later, Dr. Horn tells Eli's parents that he's having a bad reaction to the treatment. She says it's like how some people reject transplants. During dinner, Eli tells his parents he thinks the doctor is making him worse and wants to leave the mansion. Paul gets angry and says if Eli leaves, he'll stay sick forever and never have a normal life. This makes Eli hesitate and decide to stay. That night, Eli hears strange noises in the bathroom. He walks over and sees a shadow behind the shower curtain, but when he opens it, nothing is there. The door suddenly shuts on its own, and the mirror fogs up. Eli's nose starts to bleed. A ghost appears in the mirror, then on the bathtub, reaching for Eli. He tries to escape, but the door is locked, so he hides in the wardrobe. The ghost breaks the mirror and shakes the wardrobe, then knocks it over before vanishing. When Eli climbs out, he sees the ghost wrote a word across the wood, Eli, which also spells lie. At that moment, his parents and Dr. Horn arrive. They think Eli broke the wardrobe himself. When he tries to explain, they don't believe him. Later, Eli meets Haley again. She tells him about Perry, the patient before him. Perry also believed the house was haunted, and she disappeared after starting phase 3 of the treatment. Haley warns Eli to leave before that happens to him. Eli wants to go but refuses to leave without his parents and his suit. Suddenly, the hallway lights flicker. Eli goes to check, but a strange force knocks him down. 3 ghosts appear, the former patients, and start dragging him away. He sees their reflections in shiny surfaces as they pull him into the space between 2 steel doors. Then they open the main door, letting in outside air. Eli's body starts reacting badly. Just in time, his parents and doctor arrive and pull him to safety. Eli accuses the doctor of killing Perry, but she acts like she doesn't know what he's talking about. As Eli tries to get away, he hits a fire alarm box, cuts his hand, and passes out from the pain. Later, Horn tells the parents the treatment isn't working, and there's nothing more she can do. She says Eli should keep taking his medicine, so Rose offers to give it to him. She visits Eli, comforts him, and asks him to take the pill. He pretends to swallow it and gets a hug from Rose. During the hug, he realizes the ghost's message isn't a word, but a number. After she leaves, Eli spits the pill out. Meanwhile, Dr. Horn burns his hazmat suit so he can't escape. Later, Haley visits again. Eli tells her about the ghosts and shows her the number 317 by breathing on the glass and writing it. Haley thinks it could be a code for a door and asks if she might be a ghost too. Haley says she's not. That night, since he didn't take the medicine, Eli stays awake. He sneaks out and uses the code 3117 on the keypad to open the forbidden area of the house. After making sure Horn is asleep, he breaks into her lab and starts looking through the files of the other patients. Meanwhile, Rose and Paul argue about what to do next. Paul admits that Dr. Horn told him Eli is going to die soon. Rose refuses to accept this and says she's leaving with Eli. But when she reaches the car, Horn manages to calm her down, promising there's still hope for a cure. Back inside, Eli looks through patient files, including Perry's. He sees that all the kids followed the same pattern. Phase 1 went fine, Phase 2 made them worse, and Phase 3 ended in their deaths, horrible ones. Suddenly, a nurse catches him. Eli runs and looks for his parents. He finds Paul, who listens to his story and hugs him, only to betray him by injecting a sedative. The shot doesn't work, but the nurses grab Eli anyway and drag him to the operating room. As they pass a window, Eli sees that Rose's car is on fire. He bites a nurse and escapes. He runs back to the operating room to look for more proof, but the files are gone. In desperation, he grabs a scalpel to keep people back, then hides in Horn's room. There, he's shocked to find an old photo showing that Horn and her nurses are actually nuns. He sees the strange bug again and follows it to a hidden wall. Behind it, there's a staircase leading to a creepy underground space. He finds a small Christian shrine and a sealed pit. Then the door shuts behind him. He's been locked in by Horn and his parents. Panicked, Eli covers his face with a shirt, expecting his illness to react to the air. He starts to feel pain and turns red, but then it stops. He takes deep breaths and his skin returns to normal. The illness was never real. Meanwhile, Horn prepares for phase 3. Rose comes to visit Eli and finds him unconscious. When she rushes to help, Eli jumps up. He was faking. He runs to a big glass room and tries to break the window to reach Haley, but it won't break. Paul and the nurses catch him again and drag him back to the operating room. Later, Rose wakes up and finds a hidden dagger inside a cross. She checks the pit and finds the rotting bodies of the previous patients. Now she knows Eli was right. She rushes to the operating room and threatens Horn with the dagger. Paul steps in and calms her down, saying he'll help Eli. But then he gives the dagger back to Horn. Horn says she'll at least save Eli's soul. Rose realizes she's been betrayed as Paul holds her down. Horn puts on a religious scarf and starts a ritual with the nurses, chanting like it's an exorcism. She throws holy water on Eli, which burns his skin. Just as she's about to stab him, Eli unleashes telekinetic powers. The dagger flips and stabs Horn instead. Eli then sets his bindings on fire with his mind, and completing his transformation, his red skin now signals his true demonic nature. He lifts the nurses into the air and burns them. Paul tries to sneak up on him, but Eli senses it and makes his head explode. Eli then demands answers. Rose confesses she couldn't have children, so she made a deal with the devil, who promised her a normal baby. Eli is the devil's son. She made up the illness to protect him from the world. Horn had been injecting him with holy water to try to make him normal. Despite everything, Eli believes Rose loves him, so he spares her. He touches the floor and spreads fire through the mansion, then goes outside. The fresh air calms him and returns him to normal. Outside, he finds Haley. She explains that she and the other ghost children are also children of the devil, making her Eli's half-sister. They ask Rose to come with them and drive. Unsure what else to do, Rose agrees. She gets in the car and drives the two children away.
And that's the end of the story. I hope you liked it. Comment down below what movies do you like us to recap next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.